Hello, my beautiful people. Here we are once again. We're going to be talking about, there it is, Rhaenyra Targaryen, the House of the Dragon. And also going to be talking, once in a while, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite shows, which is Game of Thrones, which I mentioned to you guys before, and a couple of the videos that I did before. But today we're going to be talking about what happened 2 nights ago, the day before last night, on the last episode that we watched when it was the war between the Rhaenyra Targaryen and the Greens. And as we all know, we knew that was coming because of what's happening after King Viserys died, and Aegon was the one that was crowned king instead of Rhaenyra Targaryen, as her father crowned her when she was just a little girl, as we all know. And all the other houses bowed down to her and say that they were going to support her. Meanwhile, when King Viserys died, as we all know, Alicent did this movement because she heard something that she didn't, that finally she realizes. She heard that at the end of it, that King Viserys say that about the prince that will unite the realm, about which is a story about Aegon the Conqueror, which he will be the one that will unite the realms. That's what she heard, and then that's when she thought that Aegon, her older son, was going to be the king, and she crowned him king, as we all know in the whole episode where Rhaenys goes with her dragon in it and start attacking them. But she could have killed them all at one moment, but she didn't, because she knew she should have just go back to Dragonstone and to tell Rhaenyra about exactly what happened with her father that had passed away, and the reason why Alicent put Rhaenys in her chambers for 2 days for her not to know. So Alicent knew exactly what she was doing, because if you knew what you were doing, why you didn't invite Rhaenyra Targaryen for the funeral of her father, but you did it all hush hush, and you crowned your son, your older son, Aegon, as the king in front of the whole entire city. And that's when Rhaenyra came, and she was like, you know what, that's my crown. And it was a really sad episode, because for the reason we all know, that the two brothers, Eric and Arik, the twins, when they fought at the end of it, when Arik was trying to kill Rhaenyra, when he went into Dragonstone, making the people believe that he was Eric because they look exactly the same. And the guards didn't know that it was Arik. It wasn't Eric, because Eric was inside the castle. But anyway, it was really sad when Eric killed Arik, and then at the end of it, he goes to Rhaenyra when they are in the bedroom. He goes, "I'm sorry, my queen," and he apologized for what he did, because he realized who his queen really was, which is Rhaenyra Targaryen, And but anyway, that was really sad. I couldn't believe how it happened. And it broke my heart completely, because we all know that these twin brothers, they being in this in the house of the dragons for a while, and they were pretty cool. But it is what it is. They have their time, and now we're gonna be talking about what happened the day of the fight. The battle finally came, and Sir, a famous Sir that is having an affair with the queen that is supposed to be mourning her husband, she's already in bed with Sir, with one of the knights, her number one knight. And then she's just literally, she got pregnant by him, as we all know. And that's why she sent one of the meisters to make her a special tea that it will make her cleanse herself up, and if she has some, in her tummy, to let it come out. And that's exactly what she did, because she knew that maybe she didn't get her period. So she knew she was pregnant, because she was still fertile and young, because Viserys the king was pretty old, as we all know. But and of course, she's still having with affair with her knight, and she's not gonna stop, because she's falling for him and he's falling for her. But let's remember that in season 1, he slept with Rhaenyra Targaryen, and he married Rhaenyra Targaryen, lose her virginity, as we all know, because after Rhaenyra Targaryen went out with Daemon to, to the house, to the streets, to party, and they went to this pleasure home, and then he left her alone. Then she went back to the castle, and she was kind of like hot and juicy, and then she said, "Hey, you, Knight, come into my room." And he's handsome, of course, and they did. They had an affair, and it wasn't just one night. I think it was for a while until later down the road when she had to marry Leonor, the father of her children, which is the one that she really helped them to be free, even though his mother, from the Driftmark, they think that he died burned by his lover. She set him free. She made a deal with him, and they sent him to an island where he can be himself and be the persona that he is with his boyfriend, and not to be judged by the court and by anyone in there like he did. They gave him gold and they left, as we all know. But that's the reason why. That's when the Knight stopped really sleeping with Rhaenyra Targaryen, then, because then she was married to Leonor, and then after he went away and made people believe that he had died, that's when he married Daemon Targaryen, her uncle, because in all of those Game of Thrones and House of the Dragons, they all cousins and fathers and aunties and brothers. Like Aegon the Conqueror, he married and he had kids with his sisters. But that's how it is in the realm and all of that stuff. Even in today's day, most of the Europe kings and queens, they're all related. They're cousins, they're brothers, they're half brothers, they're uncles, aunts, and they're all related because they want their blood to be as precious and clean and pure. But after what happened on Sunday night, the whole war that it started, and then we see, of course, Vhagar, the biggest dragon. And let's remember that Vhagar was first Mela's. That's the saddest part about it, because Vhagar was Mela's dragon, and you remember that in the season 1, she was trying to give birth to her child, and the baby wouldn't come out, and they had to cut her open for her to get the baby out, and they both could have died, like Rhaenyra's mother when she died, when they opened her up, and her and the baby died. But anyway, Mela, she didn't want that to happen, so when she was there, she went outside and she told her dragon. She had the biggest and oldest dragon, Vhagar, and then she was Dracarys, and then he threw the fire and literally burned her and the baby, and it was sad because Daemon was treating her badly, but he felt her absent presence after she passed away, and she left the 2 little girls, the 2 kids that Mela had with Daemon. And then that's the funny thing is, because that's in episode 1, that's how Aegon Targaryen, no Aegon Targaryen, I'm talking about Aemon Targaryen, which is the second one, the one that has no eye. One of the eyes is, he doesn't have one of them. He is the one that took over Vhagar after Mela passed away, when Vhagar threw fire on her, because she said Dracarys, and Dracarys just threw the fire and burned her and her babies. And then after that, that's when Aemon took over Vhagar, because he was the only one that didn't have a dragon. Finally, he took the oldest, biggest dragon, and this is the one that really took over on the last episode on Sunday. He really won and literally killed. The saddest thing is that how the war happened, it was insane, because first of all, the king, as we all know, Aegon Targaryen, was fighting with his uncle in their dragons up in the air. So it was Aegon Targaryen, Daemon Targaryen, and also Rhaenys Targaryen that offered herself to go up there. But the saddest thing is that at the end of it, Aegon Targaryen, his dragon died, and then Rhaenys and her dragon died, killed by Vhagar, Aemon Targaryen's dragon, which is the